Pay attention, are you listening? Hey, you're my favorite girl. Excuse me for the moment. I'm in another world. On a mountain, by a fountain, flowers blooming everywhere. With Venus and with Cupid, the picture's very clear. Hang the sign up on the door. I say, don't disturb this groove. Just a way to tell you that I'm so into you. And the feeling's so real. Don't disturb this groove. Erotic whispers for the listener. Let the music fill the air. Excuse me for the moment. I'm at a loss for words. Violation, sheer perfection. And as if these eyes would care, your heart is in the right place. So don't you go and chase. Baby, over and over. The passion starts again. Give me lollipops and everything. Little taste of sin, causing fire and desire in this mortal soul to live. Till the angels fall from heaven. The day the earth stands still. Hang the sign up on the door. It says, don't disturb this groove. Just a way to say that I'm so into you. And the feeling's so real. Don't disturb this groove. Cause I want to tell you that I'm so into you. And the feeling's so real. Don't disturb this groove. When it feels so real, don't disturb this groove. Close your eyes and let the music put you in the mood. Can you feel it? Ooh, baby, just lock the door and turn the phone off. It's time for me and you. Are you ready? Hang the sign upon the door. Say, don't disturb this groove. Just a way to tell you that I'm so into you. And the feeling's so real. Don't disturb this groove. Cause I want to tell you that I'm so into you. And the feeling's so real. Don't disturb this groove. Cause I need you, baby. I need you, baby. I need you, don't disturb this groove. I need you, baby. I need you, baby. When the feeling's so real, don't disturb this groove. Cause we're grooving, baby, we're moving, baby. And I love it, baby, the way you do the things to me, baby. And I love it, baby, love it, baby, love it, baby. Rita, don't disturb this groove.
Happy New Year, Geekdom. It's me, the Artisan MC, coming back again. I told you I would. I tried to be a man of my word. I took care of my work orders, and as usual, one on top of the other until I get finished. I really need some more judgment eyes on this thing. It's hard to look at this screen without judgment eyes. Just have to imagine forward. Anyway, thank you guys for coming back. Shout out to everybody who showed up in the chat. King Parrish was up to the Beano Nation. Salute. Toya the Tutor dancing on in here. What's up good, Toya? No longer tipsy. And Malika Me Bang, my cinephilic brother, was good. Salutations and Happy New Year to all. Appreciate you, Malika. And to the Ray Hama, the Hama force is in the building. I felt something coming in. Shout out to the Ray Hama. Happy New Year, artisan in chat. Appreciate you, Ray. I know Angry just went live. Y'all got choices, decisions, decisions, decisions. I saw Angry Man went live. I almost shut my own damn stream off. Like, ah, shit. I think I gotta catch the replay. I still gotta give these folks a show. So, thank you for coming in. This is the New Year stream, on call edition, first one of the year. So let me go ahead and post this into. How do you get rid of this goddamn chat bubble? StreamYard has a chat function now where you can get tech support chat. God damn it! But it put it right over the link to enter stuff. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay. So as I was saying, this damn. There we go. That'll put it in there. I got to fix that because the the Streamyard tech support chat bubble pops up right over the enter button for putting comments in the chat. Just stupid. So you can't remove it, and you can't move it. All you can do is close it or chat. I don't need to chat, but it's still there. Fucking hell, dude. Move this thing. Anyway, so we're back. We're here. The heater is just turned on. Thank you guys for coming back with me. Coming back to see your favorite geek on the stream, part two. So, what do we got today? Oh, I just got his notification. Just got the notifications? Yeah, well, just got them. It's right. No one said no decision needed. Hey, man, that's a pleasant position to be in. I'm just saying. I have to do a show, but I also like listening to the Angry Man. You're the one who brought me to this space to begin with, right? Angry Man was my entrance into this black manosphere sector. Actually, it was Sergeant Willie P, and then he had a video going against the Angry Man. And I listened to the Angry Man, shouldn't have liked this stuff a lot more. So I never listened to Sergeant Willie P after that, which was just one video anyway. But I've been watching the Angry Man since then. That was like 2014, 2015. Long goddamn time. Long time supporter and of his channel and all his endeavors. So that's why I'm really happy that he has blown and grown, and really happy to count him as a mentor in this space. So I give him a lot of respect. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be doing the channel the way I am. Like I said, I have two mentors in this space, and he's one of them. So that's it. That's it for me. I'm cool. That's where I met my life. So I get to come back, have a little bit of my own, my breakfast at lunch. Fucking kidding me. Yeah, I figured the AC was working. So last work order, um, guy didn't think his AC system was working. I took him a heater late last night so he can keep his young baby warm. I went to pick it up. He wasn't there. Left a message. As soon as I get back here, he calls. Said his AC is not working, so I told him I'd look at it when I got there, which is not going to be right now. And then he calls back to say, he texts me back to say, "Oh, AC is working." Kind of figured that. Power's back on. So anyway, Ray said right before you came live, oh, I was catching up on my one-on-one Vlad TV with Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White stay on Vlad. It's like, is this the same interview or does he keep doing new ones? He stay on Vlad. Vlad always got an interview with Michael Jai White. I'm like, damn, how long was that one interview? Are you cutting it up like infinitum or what? I don't get it. He said replay. No one said the replay game. Gang takes on all comers. Yeah, all. That's look. A lot of us. That's the only way we see some of these damn streams. You got to watch them on the replay. That's why I try to keep it. I try now to keep it concise, like down to 3 hours or so, so somebody watching it can try to get some of the stream before the next new stream starts. I used to think that 5 hours was good because that gives you at least an hour a day or so to watch until the next time I actually do a live, until I do the next Shop Talk Live stream. So you get little morsels every day, right? But one, YouTube makes it tough to try to edit that much, especially when they want to give you copyrights for music and stuff like that. Over 5 hours, they don't want you to edit it. So if they're blocking your video in certain countries or just altogether because you have one song in there, it's too long. They won't let you cut it out. So you just fuck. So I try to keep it down below 5 hours or so I can actually edit the video if I need to, cut out stuff, and get my monetization because my channel has been monetized since last year. So I'm not making money on it, but like I said, it's stupid of me to do it. I'm a terrible businessman in this sense. A lot of the stuff I don't do for. I mean, your support is what your support is. Relying on YouTube for supporting the channel. I'm expected. What's his name? Calvin Candy to respect me. No, I'm not. No. So yeah, I do what I need to do and take it from there. So we got 14 of y'all in here. We want to talk about some geek stuff. So let's do something different this time. I put the link in the chat so y'all can come up. You come up and tell me what's going on in geek. What have you heard? Because for the last week or so, I have not been engaged with geekdom. I've been working too much and had too many moving parts going on with the holidays, with Christmas, and then New Year's, and then work, and the daughter, and personal life. I had a lot of shit going on. I wasn't paying much attention to geekdom. Truthfully, the only things I was doing was work and trying to sleep. So I got to get back up to speed, and since we're into the new year now, where everything is getting ready to pop off, we got some Mandalorian coming, we got some Bad Batch coming, we got Quantum Mania coming. We got a lot of stuff that's getting ready to happen, and I'm kind of excited for that. And taking a chance to. This is one of the times of the year where you get to have a breather before you dive right back into the shit. So let's all enjoy that. So I'm gonna bring this brother up. We got somebody backstage coming to the stage. The one, the only, Malika Me Bang. What's good, Malika?
Peace, good brother. Happy New Year to you.
Peace to you. Come on, work. We got the Malika Me Bang. Not sensitive. Sound like we're in the classroom. Yeah,
Thank you, children. Thank you.
Thank the children, y'all. Thank the children. Hercules. So what's good with you, brother? What you got going on?
Feeling good. Got off work early, chilling out. If you hear a little crunching, that's just me eating while I'm talking to you.
Like, I'm eating right now while you talking. The only thing I'm not gonna do, you will never see me sitting here.
Yeah, and that sound like John Witherspoon.
Woo! That was a slap in the face. I'm sorry. Maybe I grew up a little tough, but you do not sit at no table smacking in nobody's face like that. On camera or not. You like you got some damn decorum. Somebody taught you something. Ain't no damn yak or goat sitting out there on the ground. No.
Ready to go bang.
Yeah, I saw that video AM put up that short. He was talking about that. Like, what the hell? Like, exactly. What the hell? Uncouth ass. Like, oh my God, she probably got children too. Jesus Christ. When does the White Dragon come out? Ray Hama said. White Dragon is supposed to be out sometime this year. That, for those of y'all that may not know, that was JDF's last movie that he was working on, that they had finished wrapping before he self-deleted. And he was excited waiting to pump that movie. So the movie was done. It's his fan supported movie with a new character that he made up. So, and with some stars from the other Power Ranger stuff.
Yeah,
anyway,
and a lot of people from the martial arts community.
Exactly. So I want to blow that up. So as soon as one of y'all see it out, find out where it is, if it's streaming or whatever. Drop a link so everybody knows. Go to my community tab. I don't give a shit.
So, you know what I'm gonna watch later on tonight?
Watch. What's that?
Clerks 3. I gotta watch that.
I watched that recently.
How was it?
I liked it. I liked it because I'm a Kevin Smith fan, and I've watched all the Clerks movie. And it took. I understand that Clerks 3. I told you guys when I saw the trailer that I was looking forward to this. Right, I was looking forward to this. Right, that Kevin Smith doing this movie, going back to Clerks in the View Askew universe, was because he had something else to say because it's all based on his life. And when we talked, I think it was last week or so, last Sunday, you were talking and you were mentioning Kevin Smith. I said, I still haven't watched Clerks 3 yet because for a while I couldn't find it. Right, it was in the theaters. The closest theater to me that was showing it was up in fucking Sacramento. I said, damn, I'm like driving all the way to Sacramento to see it one night. I'm like, that's bullshit. But I should have went because that was one of the places he actually showed up to view the movie. I'm like, oh, fuck you. Right. So I finally found it on Amazon Prime. Damn game off the release. Oh my bad. Finally found it on Amazon Prime. Bought it. Left it sitting there until I could have a chance to watch it. And then talking to you, you were invoking Kevin Smith's name, and I was remembering I still haven't watched that movie. I went ahead and sat down late that night and went ahead and watched it. And I actually enjoyed it. It was a lot of good callbacks. It was a lot of stuff that I had known from knowing the behind the scenes of watching Kevin Smith over his career and him talking about what went into making Clerks and all that shit. But it was funny to see it played out on screen in a different way with some additions additional stuff added into it of what he was going through in his own personal life that I had actually known about because I was following him and watching some of his other stuff outside of the movies he was doing. So I knew
And
about the heart attack.
yeah,
Go ahead.
and what I liked about he was talking in a Q&A. They were talking about Clerks, and they were talking about him like, all right, 30 some odd years ago, when you were doing this, he said, people said to him like, dude, you can't do this. What are you doing? What's going on? What was the idea? And he said, the best, like some people said, well, how should I make a movie? He said, the best thing to do is make a movie or make something that you can relate to. And he said, I just did Clerks because that's what I was at the time. And he said, whatever I was going through at that time that you seen, I was going through the drama of an ex still pining for an ex. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to make it out. I'm just stuck here behind the cash register.
Yeah.
And
Self.
and but at the same time, I remember, I think I said it last week on your show. A person had asked him, well, what about the joking stuff that you could do now? He says, when I was 21 years old, all I could do is talk about dick and fart jokes. He said, but when you're 50 years old and you've done stuff, he said, for the first hour of Clerks 3, you're talking about dick and fart jokes, but he says there's a lot of other things where you're dealing with life for guys in their 50s. They're, like he said, it's about, well, we should do a movie. We need to do this. Why don't we do it? Because Randall, he's realizing, look, man, our life is passing in front of us. What are we're not doing what we want to do. And also it's reaching out to the audience, kind of like earlier today when you were talking about taking a risk, do something. If the movie flops, if it doesn't go well, okay, but at least you did something that you tried. And that was one thing he was talking about when he did Clerks. People were like, didn't know what to do it, but then he could say it, like when he said, when he first had the opening, there was only like 10 or 20 people in the theater, and 5 of those 10 or 20 people were his friends. And the viewing of it was like an early 11 a.m. showing. And there was a critic who became one of his good friends, and he's the one that helped push him and help get him into Cannes. And that's when he won the Cannes Spirit Award. But he said funny things. If I didn't do this, and this guy came in there and he just happened to be from Jersey, and he understood that these are just a bunch of kids during a normal day and just showing normal life. And he said, you knew how to capture that moment. And that was one thing that, well, Kevin Smith's great superpower is that he knows how to tell a story. Because if you ever hear him, how the way he gives interviews, he gives impeccable interviews. And when he talks, he knows how to gather people. He knows how to give the beginning, the middle, and the end. And he has a terabyte memory. And he knows, and he tells you stuff where you're there, and he knows how to give you the punchline. He knows how to give you the warm and fuzzies. He knows how to give you like, but he knows how to bring you back again. That's how the way that makes him a good filmmaker and a good writer.
Yeah, he is what a good writer is. He knows how to tell a good story, not just sitting at the computer typing it out, but actually telling you about just his life in general, just what the situation was. One of the things I like about him is like if you watch like an Evening with Kevin Smith or any of his one man standing up Q&As and stuff like that he tells a bunch of stories. And it's not stuff that he's making up. It's stuff that happened to him, but he can tell you in a way that puts you there and lets you understand all the nuances of what's going on and what happened. And they end up being funny. And it's just his life. It's not like he, is living some super fabulous freaking life or anything like that. He's a regular ass dude. But the stuff that happens to him is fucking funny sometimes. And he's just able to articulate that and then not only articulate it, put it into the written word to where you could see it and direct it and make a movie out of it where you can actually see it and say, okay, that shit's kind of funny. That actually happens to me too. Yeah.
But then
There you go.
also when he all right, because all right, with the success of Clerks, Mallrats, and Chasing Amy, from those three movies, now he's ushered into what he always talked about. Oh, he's the new Hollywood guy. He's the cutting edge guy where the young people get, and you have the college guys, the teen guys, anybody from the age of 14 to 30. And you say Kevin Smith, oh, he creates this, and they used to say toilet humor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he
That's
said,
that
I
thing
knew
said
this.
about South Park.
Yeah.
But make the motherfuckers rich.
And that was another thing that would happen. Like he said, Kevin Smith knew, like he says, okay, I'm going to ride this wave. But then he knew that he was smart enough to realize, okay, I'm going to invest my money. But then at the same time, he knew that there was the downslope of the wave of where it wouldn't, how should I say, popular. But at the same time,
Hold on one
he
second.
knew how to become
Hold on one
relevant.
second. So, you guys in the chat room, you can actually respond. That's chat is like standing still. What is it? A traffic jam? The toilet clogged up? What happened? So, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so. Definitely. Keep
Hey, how the brothers feeling today?
Peace to
What's
you, brother.
good,
How you
G?
been?
Peace. I got a quick question. I don't want to interrupt the convo. What's your name on the Division 2? I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm playing it right now, though. I'm about to add you.
Okay, it's hard to. It's Scorpius 112, but it's the way I spell it is what's hard to find. So
Okay, well, I'm just going
I
to
usually
what I'm going
don't
to
put
do
it
is,
out over the air because I get weirdos wanting, oh, let me join you on Division, and they just being weird, trying to snoop into your life and shit.
I will put it in the back chat. No, put it in the
Yeah,
back chat, and
put it
I'm
in
going to
the
add
back.
you on
Oh,
the
I'm
act.
definitely
Yeah,
putting it in the back chat.
yeah. I'm about to add you. I'm about to add you on the Activision account. Hold on.
I have to remember what the fuck it is because I put it in once to make it difficult, and I never look at it again. But, let me do it this way. Excuse me for
How you
1 second.
feeling, Malika? How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
How the New Year treating you so far? How the first couple hours been?
Oh, it's been it's been good because it wasn't busy today at work. Really, we shouldn't have been open today on New Year's Day because we didn't have a lot of people coming into the shop. We only had maybe like 30 people, but it was good. Everything was all right. Um, quiet, safe New Year. I mean, heard a mixture of pow 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 of gunshots and firecrackers, so you know how the way that is in a black neighborhood. But
All
everything's
right.
all good.
See it,
How's yours?
Benji?
You know what? I had a good relaxing night, man. I was relaxing, no work or nothing, just chilling. Just people like, you ain't going out. I'm not going out the door.
Exactly.
I refuse to. I'm not answer. I turned my phone off, man. I was in the crib chilling.
That's the way you're supposed to.
I
That's the
heard
way
them
you're
shooting and stuff last night. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, all right, all right. I went out, lit a little shots off, and then I came back in the house. That's all, man.
That's good.
Oh, I'm putting you in right now, artisan.
You
It's
stepped
gonna
away.
be. I'm gonna put in the back chat what my name is in there too. Hold on. But yeah, that's all I was doing, man. And then I made some tacos for dinner.
Okay.
Made some tacos. You feel me?
Sounds
And
good to
that's
me.
all I was doing.
That's what you're supposed to do, man. Relax and chill, man.
Okay, he must not play on Xbox.
He has a PS5.
Okay, so I gotta add him through the game. Okay. So yeah, I play Xbox. I am not a PlayStation fan.
He stepped away from somewhere.
Yeah, he gonna come back. When he come back, I'll figure it out how to play with him.
Where everybody else at?
People doing their thing. You know how it goes. New Year's Day. You know, half of us is with some breastises. If they got titties, we with them today. You know, you got to start the new year all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cuffing
You got to
season.
start it off right. That's all.
Yeah, cuffing season doesn't end until April.
Man, I mean, I feel real like, man, really, you know, sometimes a woman do some of the brothers some good, man. You know what I mean? Get them on off the game and stuff. You feel me?
Calm them the fuck down for a little while. Let them
Man.
relax a bit. So I had to be online yelling at them. Like, man, we should go get a piece of pussy or something. Calm the fuck down.
Where are these dudes at? I wish you would have told me about this game a little bit more because I'm almost to level 40 now, but I would have just bought the expansion pack off the rip. What I did was I just bought the regular game, and then they're like, "No, you need the expansion." I'm like, "What?" Then I had to
Expansion is a whole another version of the game inside the game. Like it's a side mission. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I got. But you couldn't get to level 40 without the expansion. So everybody would just shoot you down.
Just take longer because what happens is in that game you can team up. But what happened? Everything
Where
left.
did you do that?
So if you people in your party that you leveled in with, you're gonna level up to their level, which means you can get a bunch of awards. You can catch up real quick if you're running with some people that know what they're doing and you keep your head down and don't get fucking murdered. You know, you can level up pretty quick running with them. But once you at your level, at your 40, you can run your own little ops and stuff like that with people.
I'm at level. You play on PS5 too. You got to add me through the game because I play on Xbox.
At home. Yeah, because I'm not at home right now, but I'll be at home tonight.
Okay.
I'll add you on.
How do we get to the fight with these dudes?
Which
Where do we go?
Because almost everybody in there you can shoot at.
No, I'm talking about. I just joined somebody's group. I just did they called for backup.
So what you do? You go to the main map screen. But then you.
I'm there now. There now. I've been playing. Listen, the day you told me, I bought it that day.
That's the same thing that happened. That's how I started playing it. I started playing that game last year at Christmas time. You know who told me about it? My younger brother. He told me about the game. He was playing it. I had been on that shit since Christmas of last year, or the year before last.
Yeah.
Christmas 2021. I bought it then. It was on sale. Bought that shit. I ain't got off of it. I have not got off. And I will run.
Yeah, it's good. Somebody told me about a game called Battlefield that I might have to go ahead and get.
Battlefront or Battlefield.
Battlefront. That's what he said. Yeah.
Battlefront is Star Wars.
He said it's way better than. He says better than this and Call of Duty. So I don't know.
Okay. No.
So. And he said it's better than. He said it's better than Destiny too. So I was like, okay, you said a lot of stuff too, man.
Well, that's the thing. All third-person shooters or first-person shooters are not set up the same way. Like, Division is not like playing Borderlands. Borderlands, you can collect a shitload of guns and weapons and shit, right?
Yeah.
But you can't really modify them. Division, you actually have missions you're supposed to do. These are actually real weapons, and you can upgrade and modify those weapons.
Yeah.
So you can make them how you want to. I have a couple of weapons that's the same weapon, but it's modded completely different.
Yeah. And in conflict, you got to actually think about how to do the battles, like what you fighting with, who doing what. Like Call of Duty is a movement game.
Right. Yeah, this one is not. You're not doing that pogo shit. You're not running around doing no pogo. This game is designed that your ass is supposed to be behind cover when you need to get under cover. You are not invincible. Get your ass behind some cover and figure out how you need to move and stuff like that to get the drop on these fools. Because otherwise, they will swarm you from every angle. The AI on that shit is smart. They're not fucking around with you. That AI out there to murder.
Yeah, the AI chase you. Like the higher your level, the better your shooter. They chase you down. Like, oh man, they putting tanks on you, everything.
They chase you down. They flank you. They will move in on you while you pin down. They will go after you for real. It will go after you. It's not no easy. They just gonna stand there and keep running their pattern. Their pattern is to come kill you.
Yeah.
They'll come and do that. So that's why I like it, because it keeps that shit challenging. Because anytime I have to keep yelling fuck it, it's not because the game control suck. It's like I'm sucking. I got to get better. I'm getting murdered. And when I first started, I was getting murdered, and I was like, "Fuck that! I don't like losing." I'm
And what happened? You know what happens to me? I mess up and join a party with a dude that's level 10,000. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and everybody killing you. That's when you have to have your headset on. You got to communicate a little bit. Like, look, man, even if you're not communicating, you're supposed to understand your partner. Like, I think BMT has played Division 2 with me. We weren't even playing with the microphone.
That's how. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on there now. I'm playing now.
He understood the same thing I did. Is like, look, even if you can't communicate, you learn how to work with people. Look, I'm always taking the right. I'm always rolling right. I will lay down everything on this right side. Everything. Nobody's coming on this right side. You ain't got to worry about your back. Your back is covered. Just make sure the left is good. Don't let me get shot in the back, or I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm gonna be mad as shit. I'm gonna be mad as shit. If I'm laying down everything over here, you need to be laying down everything over here. That's all you need to do.
What type of build did you do?
The Tom Clancy franchise is built off of was written by, and you had people who were ex SEALs and Berets, but it's built off of books of actual things that were already foreseen that could happen. Like what happens if the world got shut down by a disease or by biological warfare? What happens if a city, right? What happens if a city were to get closed off from the world? What would be going on for those other people? I'm not gonna lie, it has a lot of points. Who are actual sleeper cells for the government, and what happens for them? Because you got to think, you have it where your own people, and even in the military, have their own mindset of how they conduct missions versus how you do. I remember when me and Artisan first met, and he was doing stuff, and I said, "Hey, just don't go to the dark zone yet, because that's where people, like people like us, they'll say they're saying with you, but they're just waiting for you to get some shit and just to fuck you over. Like you got to keep your head on the swivel or not. And sometimes you don't even want to tell your own teammates that you get some good shit because they'll fuck you over. It's a very intuitive game. Yeah, after a while, like like I said, like if you start learning how to when you start getting there by yourself. I tell anybody who's starting out, learn how to work with the combat shield. You get a combat shield, and you get a good pistol. That's the first thing I tell them: get a combat shield and a pistol that's going to keep you alive until you start getting more comfortable with. Okay, now find you a rifle, get you a good shotgun. But then they're going to start after you go after territory. This is how it shows the grim reality of how humanity will get when resources are not abundant. Where stuff is just, it is what it is.
Law and order breakdown. Everybody's scavenging for shit. How people will click up and form the hyena groups and all this other crazy shit. Yeah, there will be regular people caught in the crossfire. You will have to figure out how to survive or hold your own.
Shit.
And I will tell you, I use the combat shield, and I use my shotgun. I'm loving because I'm surgical with that bitch. You better hope I hit you with the machine gun.
I don't fit my play style too much. I play with the.
I switch it up all the time. I switch it up all the time because I like customizing characters and shit. Right, I like my loadouts switched up, and I'm running right now. I'm running a regular rifle, shotgun, and then I got my pistol. Right, but everything else I'm doing with my assault rifle, I'm laying people down if it just ends up being a lot of people. But that shot he come out, armor plate, everything going off on me. I'm hitting, hitting you with that shit.
Yeah.
I'm hitting you, running up on you. And that
Yeah.
shield saved me a bunch of times when I ran up on somebody and they coming out of a door somewhere and there's a bunch of them spawning. I'm like, oh shit, threw up that shield, that shotgun out, pow, 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 get them all.
Got
That
your phalanx ready.
The main thing
frag
about it,
grenades.
the
Cluster
main,
grenades.
the,
Cluster grenades.
the main thing about it is you want to understand that the game is a perception of this is how if real shit would have happened in the country. We do have set up for these type of policies. You can even look up online martial law. I mean, that's why people worry about martial law. You got to noticing that when certain things happen in the country, a lot of people weren't prepared. They thought either A, the government's going to come save me, or B, fuck that. We'll just take over our own town. What you saw, like in Seattle, the Chop Zone, these things. So the game was not inaccurate on its perception of literally. After a while, man start like done tests with rats and ants and stuff on how humanity functions. Look at New York. Look at New York and stuff like. I think they talked about California. Movies that they talk about like what's escaping LA and stuff. Yeah, like these like understand man, humanity is pretty known. Like when resources and things get dim, that's why I was laughing when you were talking about the refrigerator thing. A lot of people do not know how to function if we have one power outage. If you're not about that life, stay your ass inside. You know that
What is it? Is it 1 week? 1 week without power or water, you will see humanity fall apart.
yeah, we
Yeah.
can't survive.
We'll get back to
As
that
I
basic.
always say, when the laws of man fail, the laws of the jungle and nature take over.
This is
And
true.
that's right. So that's and sadly, I tell that to a lot of men. You might want to actually start making some tangible bonds outside of just me and I'm inside my bubble. I'm telling you right now that the law is going to be a pact between man and wolves.
No, you look. Hey, you forget these niggas alpha wolves. They alphas.
You got to understand, like, listen, you can be an alpha wolf, but in the front of a pack of betas, that one alpha or alphas ain't gonna last in front of a pack of betas that have been starved out. Like even corner rats can kill an elephant if they're hungry enough. Like this is how psychological.
You don't need
Yeah,
no advice. You're listening to these dudes. You don't need no advice from no older man or wisdom or nothing. You're a follower. You're not an alpha.
well, I mean, I've been in these countries, whereas when people I've been in countries and places
No, I'm
where
being facetious.
no, you're right. Well, no, I'm saying like what you're seeing right now with just looking at men right now that don't have that feel like they've been lost by society. They're just one bad day shit shy of turning on everything because they're like, yo, if you can't listen to me, then I'm going to get you to understand me. Like that's one thing why it's funny when y'all play the division because a lot of people feel like they were abandoned. So guess what? They fund the Sons of America. They start forming the hyenas and all kind of shit. Hey
True,
man,
yeah.
like everybody,
We
don't think
talked
much.
about that. We talked about that first. Anyway, that's what gangs are.
So
Like
in other
you know
words, they
they.
turn into the Raiders of Fallout.
Well, no. What happens is I read.
And
I didn't
Tom
read. I
Clancy.
know it was happening, but
Hold
I'm
on,
saying in
G.
general. Go ahead.
Just turned into Tom Clancy knowing how the government operates. That's what it turned into. He just wrote a book and wrote a game around the book that you would probably read. Like, fuck it, well, what if they like playing in this world? Because G was talking about liking to play Siphon Filter. Sam
like that
Fisher
game
is in
too.
this same world. Yeah, this character is in that same world. The Rainbow Six people are in this same world. That's why I like this division stuff. All the Tom Clancy stuff is happening in the same world. These characters still exist. That's what got me more interested in the game. I think it was the first Division game. My brother was telling me that Sam Fisher showed up, or you had a mission or something like that where you helped somebody. Like, oh shit, this is a siphon filter dude. I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. But go ahead, let's go in turn so I can get everybody's voice thrown out there. Hello to Beastly Nerd and AB coming up on the panel, BMT. What's good with you, AB? I don't have the beam in sound effect on this board yet. So. Sorry. A janky transporter.
Just ate a salad for dinner, and I thought your conversation was interesting earlier because you talking about people's power out, and you're right. Keep that refrigerator closed because it's still cold. That cold air is still in there. Let that cold air stay in there.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's going to keep everything in there cold if you keep the fucking door closed. It's not like it automatically stops being cold because the power stops. It's been cold the whole time. What the fuck do you think? That's why it has magnetic seals on the doors, dumbass.
Yeah, keep a flashlight around.
That too. Because basically how it happened is that it was not a complete blackout. It was a partial blackout. Meaning that anything low voltage would still work. You still had lights, but they were dimmer. You still had certain things in different rooms. Some outlets worked, some didn't. But a lot of the stuff that people were complaining about were these high energy sucking fucking things. Your oven, your wash dish, your dryer, your washing machine. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna work. What the fuck? But yeah, my next door neighbor, he's over there gaming. He got a big $7,000 system. He's still playing. Like, I don't give a fuck about what he got in his house, man. It's dark. I'm trying to figure out what happened.
Wow.
But you telling me he's still over there
got
playing
time
his
to look
video
over there
games?
and figure that out.
Yeah. I'm like, why are you giving me the price count on his bedroom? I didn't need to know that shit. Damn, nosy motherfucker.
What does that have to do with your situation? Even if that's true, what does that have to do with your situation?
Not a damn thing, and nothing I asked for. This is how information flows out there, folks. Motherfuckers be throwing out information about you the whole time. You don't even know it. That neighbor didn't know that he told the fucking maintenance guy how much his system cost in his house. Like, why would you tell me some shit like that? I'm not asking. Nigga, that's how you be setting motherfuckers up to get licked. Turn up a lick. Really? $7,000. When does he go to work? Come on, man. That's dumb shit. Keep your business to yourself. Or shut up. Talking about somebody else's business. But he's over there playing. He got power in this house, and he has enough power to run the shit that he's doing. So he's playing a video game. Oh well, they in their house watching TV, but they can't run the washing machine. So what? Calm down, relax. You good. The complex is probably supplied by different feeds. It was just I'm guessing, not because I'm an electrician, but this is how my brain works. It was a fuse in the transformer that blew. It was probably the high voltage fuse that blew. That's why all the high voltage stuff went out. Now, I'm happy with that because you know what it did? It turned off all these goddamn Christmas lights and inflatables and all the rest of this bullshit that was going on outside of people's houses that was tripping electricity and stuff like that anyway. Shut all that shit off. I was like, good. Christmas is over. Get this shit down. Turn it off. But these are the same people that run
I don't do Christmas lights anyway, so that's not a
wet grass with exposed, openings, and wonder why the shit is not working. Why does the power keep going out? Because of your power situation, homeboy. You're running it in the wet grass. Dumb. I'll take my bottom, homeboy. Yeah. So they got it back up. It took them a little bit, but they got it back up. Wasn't the big freak out session that everybody was having. They just needed to calm down. Remember, you still got some power, so you're good. Just wait till the rest of the shit comes back on. They say get it popping with the candles or lights. Anyway, thank you, AB, for coming through. This is you got a report. This is BYOB report. So you got a report you want to throw in there, AB, before we move on to Beastly? Because Beastly says something about Ryan Coogler I want to hear about.
It's 2023, and a whole bunch of series is supposed to come out. I believe Bad Batch is supposed to come out in a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
I think January 7th.
Yep, I'll be watching that.
Yeah, I like the Bad Batch series. That was very fun and interesting.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I'm interested to see
Because
what they're gonna do with Crossfire.
yeah, you know, because he wasn't. That was the good teller in the end of last season. That look, he didn't have no chip in his head no more. He had took that shit out
Yeah,
a
he's
while
just
ago.
that
He
crazy.
chose all of that shit. Like, woo, whoops. So he coming for your ass. Sniper is coming for you. So hope y'all got your shit together because he all right. He just decided he didn't like you not following orders.
I also
Just
like what
decided.
they explained what they did with Camino because I'm like, how come Camino's not in the first three
Yeah,
movies? And you see, oh, that's why they sunk
that
that
was
sucker to the ground.
woo,
They
that
burned
was
that sucker to the
tragic.
ground.
That was tragic. They sunk that floating city. Like, that shit went down like the Titanic. That's why you ain't never heard of Camino. They buried it under the waves. Like shit. That was like Atlantis. Woo. Yeah, Empire
You
wasn't
think
fucking
that's
around.
bad? This is the story about Mustafar.
That bullshit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Bad Batch. I'm definitely looking forward to the Bad Batch in season 3 of The Mandalorian because I know there's a bunch of stuff coming up this season that sets up season 4 and Ahsoka and the Mandalore show that they're trying to do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to John and
Question:
Dave
Do you
getting to
think it's
do
a
they do?
possibility since he does have the black saber, he might become the actual Mandalore?
Yes. Yeah. I say yes because excuse me.
It's not that I hate cartoon characters, just that I'm
Well,
seeing
hold
too
on.
much.
You asked me a question. Let me answer the
Okay,
question. I
sorry.
was coughing. Um, John Favreau created Din Djarin, so that is his character through and through. Din Djarin is going to become what Tar Vizsla once was, which is a Mandalorian and Jedi. John Favreau really wants to do that shit. I don't think it's necessary for Din Djarin to be a Jedi too. I don't need the Jedi's all over the show called The Mandalorian. I want Mandalorians all over the show called The Mandalorian. But John Favreau is going to have it that way because he's a super fan. So he's a super fan with the power of the pen. So he can do that. He's going to do it. That's what's coming. So you will see Din Djarin learning how to use that dark saber and possibly becoming the Mandalorian. Man, but you still got Boba Fett out there. You still got what's her name, Bo-Katan out there too, and her show is coming too. And they changed the name of her show to the Mandalore show. So that means if you know Star Wars and the Mandalorian stuff, the Mandalore is the ruler of the Mandalorian.
Yep.
That's King of the Mandalorian. So if they change the name of the show to Mandalore, that's not just for the planet, motherfucker. That's for the king. So I'm thinking somebody is going to be sitting on the throne, or they're going to be fighting for it. Either way, I'm tuning in to watch that shit because I like Mandalorian. So that being said,
Yeah.
but let's get Beastly Nerd in here. Damn, I need a klaxon sound is what I need. So Beast come in here, we can fire up the danger room. So what's good, Beastly Nerd? I know you're doing double duty in 2 chat rooms. I know, nigga. I know how you operate. But he ain't even answering. All right. Go once. Going twice. It's not even booing. I gotta change that. So what you got, BMT? I saw you bounce up here.
I would definitely tell you guys
Happy
this
New Year.
about the league. Go to I would definitely tell a lot of you, man. As I told a man, I bought him a room at a hotel, because he don't have a place.
Mhm.
I would say just because You're down doesn't mean you're out. It's not the definitive mark. Um, Stay healthy, keep a healthy mindset. Wondering and worrying about things that are superseding out of your control, but people who probably don't even not even thinking about you. That's not going to change anything. Just focus on that of what's ahead of you. That's honestly the best thing. Like when I put that man in his room, I said, "You have a job?" Yeah, I got two jobs. One at McDonald's, and another one I'm starting out as a forklift driver. Okay, there you go. So take one check, use it for paying for your room, and the other check for using for you to put down on getting an apartment. I'm like, you got to just be thankful for what you got before you make it work. Like all the blaming and getting upset shit ain't gonna change your situation. You got to just keep fighting. You may lost round 1 and 2, but you still got 5 more rounds left.
Like me and Malika was talking about last week about the whole David Goggins thing. Is like, what is his main thing? Stay in the fight. Got to stay in the fight. You get nowhere by giving up. You got to stay in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
FYI, I just got that book last Thursday, and I started listening to it. It sounds good.
Good. Yeah. I like how he does his audiobooks because he will do it. The narrator will read a chapter of the book, right? And then once that chapter is over, you'll have the narrator and David Goggins talking about that chapter and what it meant. And you'll get whole other stories that background to that chapter or some other stuff going on in there. So you hear it directly from him too. It's not just like you just hearing his words through somebody else's mouth. No, you'll hear him talking about it. So basically, they sat in the studio and they did it like we're doing the show right now. They did the reading, and then he responded to that chapter, added some other stuff, added the evolution, right? And then the guy narrator went on and read the next chapter, and then they're still sitting there. So they did it like a podcast format. Usually with audiobooks, that's not what you get. You just get one person reading it, maybe doing sound effects, maybe not, and then it's over. You have no connection with the person who wrote the book at all. They're not even the one narrating the shit. Right? So this way, you get the author of the book filling in what the background to that story was that he wrote about and getting an actual dialogue with him about, what else was going on. Because that's when you find out a lot more about where this man's mind state is. And that these are not bullshit stories he's pulling up. He's just not doing the shit because he's a thrill seeker. No, he's doing that shit because he's trying to, tap his own potential and keep pushing past what he thinks is his perceived limits, which I can respect. I can respect that shit.
And one of the things that he I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, go ahead.
One thing that he says in his first book, and he says it in this book, but also you hear him in other interviews if you look him up on YouTube. He says, I wasn't born with any really talent. He said, I wasn't born with any athletic ability. You wouldn't see that because this guy runs and this guy's in awesome shape and he's ripped for a guy that's pushing 50. And also a guy that's an ex-Navy SEAL and also a guy that went to Ranger training school. Also, he says, I'm not a smart guy, which is bullshit. But he's not, he's saying he's not athletic and smart in the natural conventional sense, meaning like, all right, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, they're bred to be athletes. You might have Elon Musk or great academic minds, they're bred something. Or you'll see all of Denzel Washington and Paula Washington's kids all 4 of their children are in the business. Well, you grew up in a family. He never had that. First of all, he grew up in an abusive home and he was never pushed to be a person that could find his talents. His main talent in his realizing was
you got to read the rest of the new book. You got to read the rest of the new book because the rest of the new book will actually key you into a lot of stuff that he said in the first book, and you'll get background on that there was some other people there that helped the
Okay.
short version of it is that he didn't have any natural talent for anything that he does. He doesn't. He
Yes.
wasn't the best runner. He doesn't have a good heart. He
Hmm.
is not a good swimmer. Never was a good swimmer. He is not a smart dude. He's dyslexic in some ways, but he preps.
Yes.
What his superpower is, that if he realizes it or not, is that he can lock on something and stay at it.
Hmm.
That can
He
be a
has
superpower.
he has indomitable will,
And
and
he discovered it. And I wouldn't
yes,
even say it's indomitable will, it's just drive. He wants to keep going. He doesn't want to stop whatever he's doing.
exactly.
Really doesn't.
And
And he's fighting himself the whole time to keep from doing it, because his mind will tell him, just like everybody else's does, is that you need to quit. This is hard. This sucks. This is cold. This is whatever. He pushes past that shit every time. He fights himself every
mhm,
fucking time, all the time. And that's why he keeps doing shit that seems like, damn, he's miraculous. He's only fighting himself. He ain't fighting the rest of y'all motherfuckers.
exactly.
That's why he can run on broken legs, because it's not about y'all, it's about him. He's pushing himself to pass his limits. Because he's passing his limits, everybody else who would quit said, what the fuck is wrong with that nigga?
Like
We
when
would have
he
quit a
said,
while ago.
like they said, like for the past 20 years, off and on, he's an EMT.
Mhm.
And he just talks about it in a matter of fact sense. And he's like, yeah, well, off and on, I've been an EMT for 20 years.
Yeah, worked in emergency rooms and everything. Like, God
Yeah,
damn,
and
really?
he said, but he said one thing that he said that helped prepared him to deal with the trauma was that he says there are people that can get locked onto the trauma, but like he said, him being a Navy SEAL, him seeing what he had seen in the battlefield of war or the theater of war, he saw that trauma. But the thing is, they were like, well, why would you want to do that? And he was saying it was the challenge and the push to deal with situations like that, where, like they say, you just can't get there because you'll get locked onto the trauma and you'll kind of like get caught up in, like he says, if you see a person, like he said, if there's a person's leg that's broken, but their leg is twisted all the way to their back and they're still alive, you'll be locked on that their leg is twisted to their back, but you have to try to help them get out there. And he
Stop the
said, they're,
bleed first. Yeah.
yeah,
How you assess and deal with what's in front of you. Yes, the leg is bent in a position it should not be bent in, but they're actually bleeding first. So you have to treat that first before you go trying to reset their damn leg. What good is it to reset their leg and have them bleed out during? Stop the bleeding first. Then you can
mhm.
deal with the twisted up leg. But it's about how you direct your attention and what you focus on. You don't focus on the trauma. You focus on that.
And just like kind of like in the beginning in your first podcast earlier this afternoon, when we were talking about taking risks, all odds were against David Goggins. Like when he said, when he wanted to become a Navy SEAL, he was weighing 300 pounds. And they said, well, you got to lose X amount of weight in X amount of time to do it. And he talks, and what I love about him, he never ever glosses over saying that whatever he did to get where he had to go wasn't easy. Like he says every chapter when he talks about certain accomplishments, he'll have a talk afterwards. After, like, you'll have the narrator or the guy doing the voiceover with each chapter. The narrator talks to David Goggins, and he'll say, well, yeah, when I'm running and I'm pissing and shitting down my pants, but I'm realizing, okay, I got 12 more hours to go. And you're thinking about that, like, what the hell? And he says, what he realized is not going to make it, or he's doing this and realizing, like, okay, he's not pissing urine anymore. He's pissing blood. He's pissing dirt. And people are like, what do you mean dirt? And no, he's not. He's pissing all of the toxins out of his body because that's all's left in there. And like how he's saying the failure of it, that he did not know how to prepare for the run. And he's telling people that, okay, I had the heart to do it, but I didn't have he said, a lot of these people that are marathon runners that ride bikes, that do all these things, they have sponsors and people that train them and everything. He said, he didn't have shit. He just might have somebody that told him he had his wife and what he had to do. And he was just realizing, okay, I failed that first marathon run, but he always says it was something that he learned from it. Meaning, like, just because you failed, that doesn't mean you lost. He always said
No,
if it was a failure,
he's-
he learned something, and also from a victory, he learned something. And he's
yeah.
always,
So
even from the victory, he's like,
every
all right, what
time
am
he
I going to go
fails
get
at
to learn?
yeah, every time he fails at something, he goes back and does it again.
Yeah.
He relearns. He figures out what went wrong. He preps for that not to happen again, and then does a little bit more due diligence on what he missed the first time or what he wasn't expecting. Then he goes back and does that shit again as many
Hmm.
times as it takes. That's the part that's to me that's his superpower.
Yeah.
He doesn't think he has one because he doesn't want to believe or get that blown up head that he's overly special in any way, right?
Hmm.
He does. But that in and of itself is a superpower because having somebody be humble enough to say that I'm not the best at something is like fucking rare.
Hmm.
Right? I mean, even with the success that he has, he will still tell you he's not special,
Hmm.
which is weird, right? For everybody else, is weird. It's like black man saying he ain't special, but he got money and shit. No, nigga, you special. No, money came from what he was doing. That's where money came, and all he was
Hmm.
doing was challenging himself and being of service to other people. When he talks about getting the medal from the VA and stuff like that, and getting it pinned on him by John McCain and stuff like that, that was a big deal to him because it was for outstanding service to veterans,
Hmm.
for his help in helping veterans. A lot of the running and stuff like that he did was for veterans.
Yeah.
He did that
It
shit,
was,
right?
and it
It
was
was
a,
it was empowering to everybody else watching him, but that meant a lot to him, right? Oh shit, sorry about that. It meant a lot to him. So he he wasn't doing it for the accolade, but getting it meant a lot to him. And at the whole time he's getting it, he's really thinking about everything else. Like, damn, do I even deserve this though?
yeah.
I mean, really, did I really deserve this? That's a humbleness about
Hmm.
yourself and your position in the world. And not saying, hell yeah, you should have gave me this forever ago. It's not a boasting thing because it's more questioning inside of himself, inside of his head, than it is questioning everybody else around him. What the fuck is wrong with you? What's wrong? No, he's questioning himself. What the fuck is wrong with me? I need to do this to make myself better, and that becomes an
Exactly.
inspiration to other people. That those are the ripples that he leaves on the pond from him moving through. That people say, "Damn, what the fuck is he doing? I need to figure what is he doing? What is he on? Are you taking drugs, Royce? What?" And he just as plain spoken as me, Malika, and anybody else up here. He's just as plain spoken as that. He will curse.
Hmm.
It just is what it is. He'll
Because
tell you.
he's authentic to himself. And if he was trying to be anything else, that's just how the way he communicates. But he also said he's not using the curse words to be profane. He's using the curse words to make the emphasis on a point.
Emphasize a point. Make it impact.
One of the great parts, he says, he said this in his first book, but he says this in a lot of other interviews he had, and he's especially when he said this on Joe Rogan's show. Like, they called him one time to a prestigious university, and he's on a panel with great scholarly minds, and they're talking about the mind. And right where he felt, he says, I am totally out of my element. He says, I am not an educated guy. Barely, he said, I just barely got through high school. But he's sitting up here with these guys that are talking about the mind and they're saying all this stuff. And he said, there's this one guy that he's on the panel who says this short, balding, fat, middle-aged guy, and he's giving this theory about the mind, what the mind does and everything. But one thing that like David Goggins says, he says, I don't have a poker face. And he kind of frowns his face up and he's listening to this guy. And the moderator says, Dave, I noticed something is on your face. There's something going on. Your face is saying something. And in true David Goggins fashion, he holds back himself from cursing, but he says to the guy, he says, how do you know? He says, what do you mean? He says, you're talking about something with the mind, but how do you know it? He says, you're a theorist. And the guy goes in and says, yeah, but you're still a theorist. He says, but I'm a practitioner. And that's where you hear kind of hush and kind of huddle came around in the whole room. And he says, you're speaking about theories of the mind, but have you ever tested things of the mind? And that's where people were saying, well, he says, but how can you? And he says, how can you give a speech on something that you never experienced? And he really broke down. He's like, that's like if you're saying somebody that, you have a guy who's an astronaut that flew into outer space in the space shuttle, but you have another guy sitting there and he's giving his view on something that he's never done. He's never been through astronaut training. He's never been through zero G training. He doesn't even know what the inside of a space shuttle looks like. But you're going to give it. And that's where he says, you're going to have a lot of people that speak in theory, but they're never practitioners. And that's where he comes in and he says, I'm a practitioner. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. I'm just stating that I'm a practitioner, meaning like to other people, get at it in life. And you can say something, you can make all this money, you can make all these books, but a lot of these, like he said, a lot of these motherfuckers don't practice anything. They don't get up off the couch.
Well, that's the same thing I say about, reviewing movies or books or something like that. Why are you talking about something that you ain't watched? Why do I want to listen to you tell me everything about something, how wrong it is, how bad it is? You ain't even watched the shit.
Exactly.
Why would I? I want the person who actually watched it to tell me how bad it was and why it was bad. I don't want to hear the person who didn't watch it, wouldn't see it, never thought about it, tell me how bad it was. Look, I like actionable intel in a military sense. I want I want information from people who've been there doing it, not sit bystander. He said that it was garbage. Well, I don't need to talk to you then. I still don't need to talk to you. I need to talk to the dude who talked to you.
Yeah, I heard people talk about how. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, AB.
I heard people talking about how bad the Legend of Chuck Lee was. So I was like, let me see this movie, and I only watched that movie once, and it is like people said, it actually makes the original Street Fighter movie, which was not a good of a movie either, a better movie.
Yeah, well,
At least that movie was entertaining.
I never watched the original Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie because I fucking refused. At that time in my life, I refused. I wasn't watching that shit.
That shit was good as hell, too. You missed out.
Bullshit. Mortal Kombat came out. That shit was awesome. Mortal Kombat came out.
They both was good. They both was good.
Mortal Kombat came out at the same time.
Hey, I even liked it that new Mortal Kombat that just came out, the Sub-Zero.
Hell no.
I like it all. I like it a lot.
Hell no.
I like it. I like it.
Shots fired.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Hell no. Again, I'm gonna keep saying that shit.
Yeah,
I just like I pretty much like anything in the fantasy science fiction genre. Like I'm into that. I don't really watch regular shit on TV. I don't want to watch nothing that can happen in real life. But that's why I can't watch.
Question.
Go ahead.
Question. Look, this is one of the reviews people ain't never seen because I really had an issue with that damn movie. So I just have a question. What is your favorite part of the last Mortal Kombat movie? I really want to know. I'm curious.
I liked it how when they introduced the character, like I liked it how it was like, okay, it was a the backdrop was kind of okay. You got a secret division that's trying to fight these people. They coming to get him because he's a picked fighter from a clan. I just like that type of stuff in general because I never had, but that's just my personal stuff because I never had. I like the dynamics of that. You know what I mean? I like the dynamics of that storyline. That's why I like the Merlin storyline. I like certain storylines because it imitates me. That's why I liked it. Dritz,
Okay.
and that's why I like the certain character. That's how I gravitate towards characters. Yeah.
I give you a lot of props for Drizzt. You already know that. The Drizzt is my shit now because you turned me on to it, and every time I mention that shit, I mention you're the one that turned me on to it because I give people their fucking respect. Right? But that fucking Mortal Kombat shit, I fucking hated that movie. There were parts of that movie that I did like. Scorpion, I like.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Sub-Zero, I like. It was Joe Townsend. Tell y'all about Joe Townsend movies, right? Like those fights.
Yeah,
Rest of
those are
that
the best part
movie
of the movie.
was shit.
Okay,
I
no.
didn't
I
even
have
like.
I have a question. Who the hell was dude supposed to be?
He
The
was
other
supposed to
dude.
be which one? Cole.
Yeah, who was he
Cole.
supposed to be? Yeah.
Cole.
The
Cole
descendant
was
of Hondo
supposed to be.
Hasashi.
Cole was supposed to be a descendant of Scorpion. That's who he was supposed to be. That's
He
who he
wasn't.
was supposed to be.
Was
He
he an
wasn't a what?
actual character in the game though, or was it just a
No, he
No,
movie?
wasn't.
they
No.
made him up for the movie. They
Okay,
totally
that's what I
fucking
couldn't
made him
figure out.
bigger.
Yeah,
That's why he had
that's
that
what I couldn't
fucking
figure out. Like,
ass
what the fuck character is this dude?
fake Guyver armor and shit. Like, what the fuck is going on with this? Oh
The
my
only
god!
redeemable quality about that movie was fucking Kano. That was it.
Kano was the most fun
Kano was
part.
hard as shit. I liked it when
That's
they
in
went
my
to the little
review.
secret. But I like when they met Kung Lao and them. Like, I liked it, that shit. Like, Kung Lao was dope. I
No,
didn't
they
like
played
this.
I
Kung
like.
Lao. Hold up one
I
second. Kung
like.
Lao. Can I say this real quick, artisan? Excuse me. Kung Lao, they did not utilize him better. Kung Lao was a much better fighter than what they did in that movie.
Yes, very much better.
No, most definitely. Most definitely. But I'm just saying, I liked it that when they went to the little thing, like, I like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to a motherfucking cave and get a crystal power and shit. Like, nigga, what if they just came and got niggas and took them to caves and gave them powers? That's little kid nerd shit. I'm sorry. I'm in my little kid nerd mode.
And I can see why you like that movie because you're kid nerd shit right now, which is you're the only person that's giving me a fair that I don't like that movie, even though you like it. That's why I like your take on it. Everybody else is just whenever I give the take on it, I get ran up the flagpole about stuff like you don't never like nothing. I say because it's objectively stupid.
Yeah, fuck you. You don't
Yeah,
have to
Liu
like it.
Kang was
Like,
definitely underwarming. I was definitely underwarming.
Well, I'm
yeah.
the only one that want to get trained by Kung Lao and shit. Then fuck it.
No, you're not the only one. Here's the thing I'll say about that
Who did
movie.
they have? They had Kung Lao and Liu Kang. I don't like how they did Liu Kang though. They made Liu Kang seem like he was soft.
It's both soft. It's both soft as baby shit.
Yeah,
That's not the case.
that was one of my biggest problems. Liu Kang was an afterthought in that movie.
Yeah, they downplayed his ass completely to have Cole ass in there, and they could have just went with Liu Kang and dropped that fucking bullshit ass Cole character out of there because that whole plot with his daughter and his wife, I didn't give a fuck about them two little bitches. They could have both died and moved the story along. Wasted too much time.
When they daughter and they wife, wasn't Mutaro going to kill them or something?
Goro.
Goro, yeah.
Kill him. They're not important to the story. You just had to have a reason for him to unlock his fucking chi and turn into his super Mortal Kombat form. I'm like, this looks fucking stupid. What, he got tonfas and skin armor? So what, you a Guyver? Fuck you. I'm done with this shit.
No, his daughter was the key to everything.
You know they got to do it like that.
This
You know
is
they
my
got to
key
do it
to
like
everything.
that.
This is the key to everything. It opens many doors.
Hey, no.
fuck
You
that.
know they got to do it like that because white dudes is
They
a super
don't have
scent.
to.
White dudes is super scent man. You know what I'm saying? So
he ain't even a white dude. He mixed.
He's mixed.
They wrote the movie. Goddamn it, super scent man.
Yeah. The dude who wrote the movie don't know shit about Mortal Kombat.
Because that's the excuse. But that's the excuse when they write stuff. Oh, my family. And like, man, you did that shit. I personally think a lot of shit is for individual glory. But like, yeah, my family's legacy. I'm like, dude, you did that shit because you wanted to be the best swordsman, nigga. You got Highlander syndrome. I just think I don't believe nobody do shit for their family like that for real.
It depends. It depends.
I mean, you want to take care of your family, but you're not a good carpenter because you give a care. Your daughter cares that you're a carpenter. You're a good
No,
carpenter because
not
you care about being a good carpenter. You
because I
get what I'm
care about
saying? You want to be a master carpenter. You want to be able to do dovetails and joinery and shit. You don't. That's why you're a good carpenter. You know.
right. I agree.
I
That's
do
why I
like
don't
to-
believe this stuff translates to other people. It's like, oh well, my dad was a carpenter, so I know everything about carpentry. No, the fuck you don't, because you ain't spent no time doing the work, so you don't know
My dad was
shit.
accountant. I suck at that shit.
Yes.
I openly admit, my dad was a good accountant, but I suck at that shit, man. I got the
Yeah.
programming side.
Yeah,
One
man.
thing I will give the
I'm not saying it was out there. Go ahead.
See, my dad a
Hold
carpenter
on.
like you,
AB,
artisan. Okay.
AB. Go ahead, AB.
One thing I do like is they actually showed Scorpion's fatality, a live action version of Scorpion's fatality. I will give them credit for that. That's one part of the movie. I've always wanted to see what that would look like.
Look like a motherfucker burning, roasting alive.
Hey, I got a question. Was
Go ahead.
Mortal Kombat ever a manga?
No,
No.
it's been
No,
a comic book, but
Yeah, they had comics, but they were kind of shitty. I mean, it didn't last too long. It didn't last too long. You can find them in a back issue bin, but usually comic book adaptations and stuff like that doesn't last very long. You may get a year and a half out of it at the most.
Mm-hmm.
So
How long did
people come
Mortal
in with
Kombat X last?
Halo comic books and it's like, yeah, they made them, but you ain't gonna find them. What? They ain't still making them up.
Oh yeah, and I'm waiting for Isom to get here now. I paid what $27 for it, so I'm waiting for Isom to come now.
Still ain't got my copy of that.
Yeah, how long does it take?
It don't take long. I think my copy got stolen from the shop that it was delivered to. It got stolen.
Okay,
Because they said they dropped it off, but the shop was closed and the thing wasn't stuffed in the mail slot. And apparently
people steal.
The packaging is labeled Rippaverse all over the front of it, so somebody snagged my shit. Sitting out in front of a comic shop, come on, man, they took my fucking package. Somebody got my copy of Isom signed by Eric July. Number one.
I'm thinking about buying a poster. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a poster right now. I just don't got nowhere to put it. I got posters everywhere, so
I wouldn't buy a poster unless I was going to put it in a frame. That's just me.
Yeah, I think I might have to rip down. Like I'm thinking about. I'm about to get ready to move in March, and I'm making a dedicated nerd room wherever I go to. So I don't know. I'm gonna make a dedicated nerd room for my video games, my books, because I got like 26 books right now. So I need to just get me a bookshelf or something.
Yep.
I don't know.
Good book. Good other shit on. I agree, Aquatech. Mortal Kombat without fatalities is some other fucking game. It's Super Smash Brothers. That's what shit is. It's not Mortal Kombat if you don't have fatalities. Mortal Kombat is the originator. Look, the review that you guys have never seen for this movie, because part of it was a program, it erased some of my shit in it. And it was like it was almost an hour. I went through the history of Mortal Kombat and how deeply I was involved with Mortal Kombat. And to get up to this movie, and I fucking sucked and hated it. Yeah, it's the originator of fatalities. It's the granddaddy. It's Street Fighter and there's Mortal Kombat. Those are paradigm shifts for those tournament fighting games. Everything else falls from those two trees. It's a derivative of those two trees. Side of Soul Calibur. I like Soul Calibur. But other than that, yeah, no fatalities. That's when they invented the babalities and the friendships and all the rest of that shit, because somebody mama saw a kid playing Mortal Kombat and ripping somebody's head off. But that's too gross. Like, it's a fucking video game. So to get around that blood and gore, they put in friendships and babalities, animalities and shit. Just to get around it. But you still could do fatalities too. That's part of the fun of it. Shit, I'll do all of it. It just depends on what I feel like. Maybe I take your head off. Maybe I give you some of the friendship. We just dance or something.
Friendship
Otherwise,
again?
yeah,
That's fun.
friendship? No. You get embarrassed. Your dome off. So everybody is back in here, and people keep fluctuating in and out. Weird. So Beasley, what was this whole thing with Ryan Coogler you were talking about earlier? I wanted to hear what that was. You got a
Well,
BYO
from what
story.
I've been seeing, I'm trying to find the article, but whenever I can, I've been distracted by other shit. Basically, Ryan Coogler is basically saying is like, because you already knew what he said, that the story was supposed to originally be about T'Challa coming back after the blimp. Well, it was essentially what Ryan Coogler is saying, from what I've been seeing or floating around, is he's saying that it was supposed to be a father-son story. Basically, it's supposed to be T'Challa coming back after the blimp, and the fact that Nakia had a son and she's also remarried, and him having to basically be like, it's like supposed to be like the kid's supposed to come with him for the 8th birthday for a ritual, and he fights Namor still. So the kid basically comes with him. It's like summer break. That was the nickname for the movie, as they call it. It was called Summer Break, because the kid, but his son basically comes and hangs out with him for the summer, and gets say, wow, my dad's a superhero, and he basically gets to see him as the Black Panther. And so, because like you said, Ryan Coogler's movies have essentially been father-son stories, and so that's what he originally wanted to make with this next Black Panther movie, because he said what you saw in the movie was not what he originally wanted to do.
And you know what's crazy? Why they always got to put their dynamic with us in the movie, man? This nigga had to get a woman. She had to leave him, get another man, have a son. He had to come back. Like, why they always got to put that shit in there, man?
Because that's the
That's
only way they know
disappointing.
how to. That's the only way they know how to tell a black male narrative in the film that people will buy and believe. You have to be left, basically. That whole thing with Nakia marrying another man because T'Challa was gone. Look, man, I'm old school. I told y'all about my great aunt who lived to
Listen,
be
bitch
100.
die.
Let me finish. That lived to be 110, and she still wore the ring of her husband who died fucking 20, 30 years before her. Still wore his ring. Now, modern senses, like, oh, girl, you wasting your life. That's why Nakia would actually have Black Panther's baby, but go have a stepdaddy step in and raise T'Challa's son because he's missing. That'd be fucking stupid. That'd be dumb. That's to make it contemporary so people can relate to it. Fuck no, I don't relate to that shit. It's stupid. But it would have been a better story if they did the father-son narrative.
Yeah, like he said, it actually begins with an animated sequence when Nakia talking to her son and said, "Tell me who your father is," and the kid basically has to explain who his father T'Challa is as the Black Panther.
So basically, she's the one who taught him the lineage.
Yeah, it's like I forget what
I
I'm trying to find the article.
got kind of an issue with that. But if he's gone and he's been blipped out, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the rest of the article to remember what it said, because he said it's like it starts with a long animated sequence and then it would jump to a live action portion to start. That's the start of the movie. It's like an intro, the animated breaking down what went down as far as the blimp and everything. And basically it's him coming back, dealing with the fact that, okay, he's been gone, the issues with Wakanda and its state in the world, and him basically having to fix all of these problems. Along with Namor showing up and him having to battle Namor.
Yes, because that's what anybody would have wanted to see. Okay.
And you know what that was though, funny?
Find the article and shoot me a link for that because I want to read that article.
But you know what that's kind of funny though?
I'm not chasing Ryan Coogler around for what he's saying the movie should have been. I already knew that Victoria Alonso was deep involved in that movie, changing it into some other bullshit. That's why you got Wakanda and Dora Milaje kissing and shit like that. So, yeah, I told y'all it was going to take a little while to see Ryan Coogler come out and say what was really going on, that he was under contract and shit.
The dust has to
off his mouth. The dust has to settle for him to get his hand off his mouth The movie has to be done. They got to be done with the promo tours and the junkets and shit, so we can come out and say what really was the fuck was going on. You're gonna have to wait, and I'm waiting
But
for him to have his emancipation speech. Like, nigga, they had a gun to my head.
Yeah.
but can I say something like what this Beasley said with how Ryan Coogler's his I guess what his draft was. And when he says, you know, you get you get the animated part, but when you get T'Challa, he's coming back and he's trying to right wrongs. He's doing what a man's supposed to do. He's trying to bring peace and balance, or a semblance of peace and balance, back to his homeland, but also fight another threat.
Mhm.
But this is what men do. You know, you'll see where, I mean, and the thing is, you can understand where the civil unrest going in Wakanda. He's trying to do, he's trying to handle this just enough, the civil unrest that could have been a movie right then and there within it. You know, a little bit from what Ta-Nehisi Coates put in his run, which wasn't bad. But at the same time, you're having another threat with Namor, where he's trying to do like, okay, just him being a king and trying to run a land and being a king. Because remember, he was still a young king. He was still a king learning how to be a ruler. Then he gets snapped out and he comes back, and it's 5 years later. And now he has to try to deal with this certain type of unrest that's dealing with in there. And he's still learning how to be a sensible, benevolent, but strong king. But then now this is something that men of all ages need to see, especially black men, where you're relating to him, where he's not just a hero, but he's doing what his duty is supposed to be. That's what he is supposed to be. And it would have been beautiful that, you know, he has this son, where his son has to understand the greatness of his father, and that my father was this great hero, this great man, and he wanted to create peace and balance within this land. You know, even, you know, he also helped save the world too, not just the land, but he was a part of helping saving the world, which helped. But the thing is, this is the real story of what manhood is. This is about doing the things that are supposed to be right, and you don't leave certain stones unturned. You know, wokeism doesn't deal with dealing with what reality is, dealing with its own reality, my truth, which is really delusion. You know, fuck what Wakanda is about. We're not really worrying about that. It's like, no, let's get back to what needs to be done. Well, let's figure this out. And that's why women deter from what really supposed to be about. And then it's crazy, but like how you say, you know, Ryan Coogler's hand was tied. He had to do what the corporate machine wanted. And kind of BGS broke it down. He said the first Black Panther movie was about fatherhood. The second one was about women and single motherhood and how women empowerment deal with stuff. And that was how the way it's supposed to be about. You know, when you're dealing with fatherhood and manhood, we're worrying about the whole culture. We're worrying about the whole cake. We're not just worrying about the icing. You know, we're worrying
Mhm.
about the whole cake, kind of like, you know, harking back with Ice Cube when he was talking about the Cocktails for Queens episode, when he, before we don't know if we were going to have Biden or if we were going to have Trump for a second term, he's presenting a plan for black people. And the Cocktails for Queens, well, what are you going to do for us? And it's like, well, what the fuck about you? What more do fucking black women need? I'm worrying about the black community.
As a
And
whole.
remember, he says, well, don't y'all think y'all part about the black community? And Claudia Jordan, she says, well, no, and she had to
Okay,
check
I gotta
herself.
cut in.
Well,
I
yes,
gotta
yeah.
cut in right here. I gotta cut in right here. You gotta keep the responses brief, but I have to get out of here because it's an emergency and I gotta go take care of this shit right now before it gets any later. I'm not having them calling me all night in the middle of the night for this shit. I'm not gonna fucking
Understood.
All right. Have a good night, bro. Hope everything work out. Peace, bro.
All right, man. Do
Peace,
what you got to
peace.
do. Oh.
Do what you
Yes,
got to do.
sir.
All right.
All right, home.
It's the New York Times, by the way.
New York Times. You know what the
Yeah.
title of the article is, or the author of the
The
article?
sequel that never was.
Sequel that never was. New York Times. Thank you, Beasley.
Yeah.
I will look that up and read that when I get a chance.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, you guys. I abruptly have to end this stream, but I got shit to do. I got to repair this before it's a big ass charge. So I'll try to come back again. I still got a heater to pick up. So like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. This is a new year. First show of the new year, but not the last show for my show year. We're on 43, and 10 more to go, or 9 more to go, till we hit the 4-year mark for the channel and the show. So I will see you guys next time. I got to bounce out of here. I got a boogie on this one. Thank you guys for coming through. Sorry for the broken up stream, but I'm on call, and it's just been rough with the rain and everything. So I will see you guys next time. Peace.
to the motherfucking 2 to the 3. California lifestyle, real bitches getting paid. 1 to the motherfucking 2 to the 3.